I was in, I think, 74. And at the time already had finished doctorate in architecture in Japan. And I went for a kind of a reflection what I will do in my life in Europe. And coming back, I went for 1 month in Calcutta, because I heard that at the 74, Mother Teresa was not very well known, but I mean, they told me it's very important to go over there. And I was with the Brothers of Charity in Calcutta, and for me it was a shock, because being supposed priest, architect, and see people dying in the streets, and even if I have a doctorate in architecture, doesn't help much. And it was so big shock that I think I wanted to connect my life with the poor in some way. With my studies could be related with that. At the time, I was teaching in full time in Japan, in Sofia University, and I come back and I was teaching my students, and the main and I was trying to find out ways in which how to connect. I began to I was speaking Japanese, but I said, well, I'll try to contact other languages. I began to try to at least to listen Chinese and try to find out how to relate with the poor in Asia. And finally, is about perhaps 76, I found out that there was a small project in Philippines, which the Christian bishops, Protestant, Catholics, they were more or less a little more liberal bishops. They wanted to do something about the poor, because in Asia was increasing the numbers of evictions. People were evicted, and with the beginning of the industrialization of many countries of Asia, which is just getting independence, there was a big problem. And they wanted to, and the project was saying is, what is the relation with housing of the people with the organization of them? How what the people were doing. And there was a kind of try to get information. And I wrote to them, and I said, well, it's, if you have classes, you come in, I think in 76, to come to our place, and you see what if you could do something of that. And I was over there for 1 month in Philippines, and trying to the people who are beginning working, etc. And after 1 month, they have a meeting and say, George, why you don't get involved, get this project? Because we have the project, the funding, but it's nobody in charge of it. And I say, I'm teaching in the university. I say, okay, I will write to the university. And I wrote, and they give me a leave of absence for 2 years. And I began, and then my teachers give me some connections, and teacher architecture give me some connection with governments. Then the people from the community organizations, there was a kind of a overall organization in Asia that they were trying to organize people around issues and try to push the government to do what they should do. And I went around and I began to try to write something, what I have learning, what was the things done. And I felt that it was important to begin with give information back to the communities. And the beginning were 3 pages, and then little bit increase, and now it's 100, 150, depends of the times. And this is how I began.
It's been 30 years. It's a long time dedicating your life to one thing.
Yeah, it's that, but I mean, it's been, it's very enriching for myself, because every time I go and meet communities and people who are struggling to get something, to improve something or get something better for the sons, etc. In the poor is a tremendous energies in Asia. At the time also I was, because I'm a Latin American Argentinian, I was in contact with the groups. Some groups of Latin American Belgian, they asked me if I find some projects I could present to them. That means it was a kind of trying to see something like life going up in this sea of oppression for the poor. And then it's try to find out if something is given, well, perhaps we could help a little. Sometimes it's not only projects, but people. People who are decided to do something. And sometimes people who are, it's not people who offer you, say, I do what you want, but it's people who are doing good things and they are struggling to do that. That means just give support of even people who are working as grassroots people who have excellent ideas, but they don't have money to survive. That means it was something which we were supporting people for 1 year, 2 years, brief afterwards. But when they take off, they began to, if you compare groups which are even in the federation, when I met, about 32 years ago, Joaquin, he was in slum dwellers leader, working in some place. I met Spark when they were just in a small group of working with women which were living in the streets, street dwellers. And you saw how the people were trying to find ideas, how to connect with the people, because usually it's extremely difficult for a middle-class person, even myself, with people who are poor in Argentina. It's all the sets. I remember in Argentina was sometimes a friend of mine was a kind of a slum dweller, and they will have a festival and say, I will give you a radio. And they go and they say, please go, why you don't bring you the radio? And why? Because if I go with the radio, the police will take me and say, well, I stole it. That means it's something which is a completely different culture. Or people who were fighting against their own institutions to reach a way in which it's not only the house, but how to help the people who want to go up or want to do something better for the family, try to be independent, try to have complete human existence.
It must be so gratifying to see the way the various networks and organizations over the years have grown.
Yes, it's true. Sometimes, and that is, these groups have tremendous problems in their existence because they work without money in the beginning. But most of the people which I have seen, they have something in the body, in the soul, that say, I want to do this by all means. Doesn't matter if you give me money or not, but I want to do that. And this is the people who really is important.